Hi there, I'm Vanna Faye and welcome to Dragon Age Origins, Episode 4. Getting straight into Ostagar.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This Blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan, I didn't expect
A royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
I'm no friend of yours, human lord.
You've got yourself a lively one, Duncan. And I was beginning to think the wardens were all stodgy priests. You are Dalish, are you not? I hear your people possess remarkable skill and honor.
Really? I was recently told that in human cities, the Dalish are considered barbarians at worst, and vagrants at best.
To be fair, your people can be a bit standoffish. Not that I blame them, of course. I tell you this, you are very welcome here. The Grey Wardens will benefit greatly with you amongst them. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You sound very confident of that.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true Blight. There are plenty of darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
Uh-huh.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the darkspawn here.
So did we in that cave. Didn't help Tamlin though, did it? Your king isn't taking this very seriously.
True. Despite the victory so far, the darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
Oh, I don't know. He did come to greet you personally. Leaders only do that with people they respect greatly.
Yet not enough to wait for reinforcements from the Grey Wardens of Orlais. He believes our legend alone makes him invulnerable. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
Joining ritual? Is that something I'm going to have to do before my cure? You didn't say anything about that.
Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining, in order to become a Grey Warden. The joining is what will cure you of the suffering your tainted blood surely brings you. If it had been possible, I would have done it before now.
Well, why wasn't it possible? What's so secret about this ritual?
The joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
I hope in good time is soon. Shouldn't take long to prepare a ritual just for me, right?
No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
Oh. Well, let's just get this over with.
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
Okay, Ostagar. Finally here. Oh, King Kaelin, the Kokari Wilds. Ostagar, alright. Okay, let's have a look at all this stuff then. Okay, joining the Grey Wardens. Find the Grey Warden Alistair. I've arrived at the King's camp just outside the Kokari Wilds in the ruin known as Ostagar. Duncan has told me that when I'm ready to begin the joining, I should seek out the Grey Warden named Alistair somewhere in camp. Alright. Creatures, okay. Oh, Archdemon already. I mean, he just mentioned it. 2 people mentioned it in passing. And we got all this lore just from that. Okay. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, the first Blight. Threnodies 8-7. Okay, the false dragon gods of the Tevinter Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it's instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there's some remnant of desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the Magisters to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it's immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens, twisted and corrupted, and leads the darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land, a blight. Nice. Oh, magic and religion, sweet. We've already seen. The Chant of Light, the Blight. Alright. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." In secret they worked magic upon magic. All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil, until at last it gave way. Above them, a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven, waiting beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker. And all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step towards the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. "And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven, and doom upon all the world." Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime. Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize. Their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, the first Blight. From Threnodies 8. Okay. That last bit there is what we've already read, so... Okay. Okay. We've already done Aravel's, I'm sure. So, the Kokari Wilds. Okay. So, the forest that we're about to be going into once we've finished looking around Ostagar itself. It is said that in the midst of the Black Age, when werewolves stalked the lands of Ferelden in numbers that kept every farmholder indoors and a hound on every doorstep, a powerful Arl of the Alamari peoples stood and declared that he would put an end to the threat. His Arling stood on the border of the dark forest on the southern border of the Ferelden Valley, and he claimed that the werewolves used the forest to launch their midnight assaults on humanity. For 20 years, this Arl led an army of warriors and hounds deep into the forest. In his hunt for the werewolves, he slew not only every wolf he came upon, but also every member of the chastened wilder folk. Any one of them, he said, could harbour a demon inside and thus be a werewolf in disguise. For 20 years, the forest rang with screams and the rivers ran red. The tales say that an old, chastened woman found her sons all dead at the owl's blades. She pulled one of those very blades from one son's heart and plunged it into her own chest, cursing the owl's name as she did so. Where her blood touched the ground, a mist began to rise. It spread and spread until it was everywhere in the forest. The owl's army became lost, and it said that they died there. Others say they wander still. The ruins of his owling stand to this day, filled with the ghosts of women waiting eternally for their husbands to return. The forest of the legend is, of course, the Kokara Wilds. There are as many legends about the Great Southern Forest as there are shadows, or so the saying goes. The chastened wilder folk have made their home there since mankind first came to these lands, and the wildlands spread as far into the south as anyone has ventured. Beyond the mists are vast tracts of snow, white-capped mountains, and entire fields of ice. It is a land too cold for mankind to survive, yet the chastened eke out an existence even there, and they tell of horrors beyond the wilds that the lowland folk could not begin to comprehend. To most, Ferelden simply ends with the Kokara Wilds. There is nothing beyond. The wilds is a land of great trees, wet marshes, and dangerous monsters. What more need be said? From Land of the Wilders by Mother Alis, Chantry Scholar 918 Dragon. Okay. Alright, and characters. Okay. King Caelan Therin. I'd hoped for a war like in the tales, a king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. Son of the legendary King Maric Therin, Caelan was the first Ferelden king born into a land free from foreign rule in 2 generations. Since his father's death, he's held the throne alongside his queen, Anora. Okay, and Logain MacTia. It takes more than legends to win a battle. Logain was born a farmer during a time when his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the resistance, where his considerable tactical genius quickly became apparent. He became close friends with Prince Maric, the last true heir to the Ferelden throne, and together they led the rebels to drive out the forces of the Orlesian Empire. Maric raised his friend to the nobility, and Logain is now more of a symbol than a man. He represents the Ferelden ideals of hard work and independence. Nice, okay. That was quite a lot. A lot to dump all at the beginning of the segment, but yeah. Okay. So, slightly more hostile towards Caelan than I thought I was going to be, but it's for a reason. It's for a very good reason. I remembered that Paul had told me very recently that the Dalish are considered, grab that elf root, monstrous, really. They apparently tell horrible stories about the things that they can expect from the Dalish, so... And he said it wasn't just humans that said that, it was elves as well. So it must be the most widespread opinion. So could he have really heard good things?
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Yeah, make her watch over you too. So I just thought, we're going to be offended by that. Really.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have to respond appropriately, you know? Ooh, elf fruit. Again. Okay. And that meant being a little standoffish towards the human.
Let's see.
Less of health poultice, cool. And a beef bone, sweet. Yeah, that's a gift. Brilliant. That'll be the first gift that we give, and it'll be going to the dog. Naturally. I mean, I've just been dragged away from everything that I've known. I'm not going to be polite and patient. Open this chest. And really, although the game goes out of the way to tell you that the Dalish are hunted, every human we've met so far has been either afraid of us or polite. Deep mushroom, sweet. And we've got the The picture is from Pet Peeves Icon Replacer, so it looks more like the Inquisition Deep Mushroom with the turquoisey green kind of iridescent tops. Which I couldn't resist getting. Stop with you.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Yeah, okay, I think all of these guards say the exact same thing. That's unfortunate. So, I mean, I would have expected a bit more pushback from the fact that she is a Dalish. Just to help you roleplay a bit more. But outside of a few key interactions, everybody treats you as if you're the human, really. It's all my lady and stuff. So, if you do roleplay as a Dalish, suddenly being thrown into, you know, a human-controlled encampment, which is the last place a Dalish wants to be, because, you know, the humans try to kill them all the time, apparently. Everybody turns out to be really, really super nice, and you're just kind of left feeling wrong-footed a bit. So she's going to act according to her Dalish ways. She's going to be standoffish and wary, really, even of the king, even though he seemed pretty nice, because that's what the Dalish are. Cautious around humans. And it's probably, well, it's definitely going to extend towards Alistair, I'm telling you that now. Because not only is he a human, but he was a Templar and I'm the Apostate Mage right now, so yeah. If you're hoping that this is going to be an Alistair romance, I'm sorry, it's not going to be. This is Zevran all the way. I'm gunning for Zevran and I'm going to get him.
Today, 2 units of men arrived every hour, and they expect to double that tomorrow. Still, the Terran worries that may not be enough.
Wow, if your master strategist, no, genius strategist tells you that this amount of men is not enough, maybe we should listen to him, I don't know. So yeah, that's why I was standoffish with Kaelin, even though that part of the quest, it's always nice to say, oh hi, your majesty. But not this time.
The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now.
That is a very large ruin.
Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing.
Dwarven make, huh? That would make sense. So, what is the Tower of Ishal?
I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest.
Oh. Alright, so why is it off limits?
By orders of Terran Loghain. The tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out.
Lower chambers? The tower extends further into the ground?
I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows?
Well, I suppose you wouldn't if they've only just discovered them. Anyway, I'll go.
Make her speed your steps.
Make her speed your steps? Was he telling me to leave quickly? Cheeky. Very cheeky. Okay. So, let's get over this bridge and into Ostagar properly. Very nice. We've got... That spear does not look like it's part of the part of the statue. Someone armed the statue. I like that. Okay. Oof. And that's the valley where all of the death appears. No one's put a rail up here or anything, so I guess in these days we're just hoping that people have the good sense not to walk off. But you know, in our day and age, that would definitely be cordoned off because someone would go to the edge, like I just did, to try to look down and they'd fall to their deaths. So, yeah. There as well, definitely there. Oh. Well, it still looks good. Those trees, there is a very clear divide between colours. But yeah, even now this game does look good. The trees are basic, but considering how many there are, and it's not lagging or anything, so... Good. It is very good.
You must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
I am.
This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
You know Duncan, then? You know where I can find him?
Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now.
Right, I'd need to find the recruits. It's a Grey Warden named Alistair I need to speak to. Do you know where he is?
Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages.
North? What, just north? I'm gonna need better instructions than that. What else is here? Tell me about this place.
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Dead cats. Nice. Well, I don't hear any cats, but I can hear plenty of dogs.
This is Ferelden, isn't it? The King has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible.
That is awful. And you said these were the King's kennels. So the King is here as well? Where?
Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The King likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does.
Bodyguards? I'll never understand the ways of humans. My clan wouldn't ostracize our keeper. Well, if I need, arrows, where would I find them?
Quartermaster. He's just a bit to the northwest.
Right. I can feel magic being cast, but I thought you humans kept your mages locked away. You have some of those here too?
A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it.
Templars. Lovely. Well, I'll be on my way then.
Good luck to you then.
Yeah, alright, so, new codex, Ostagar. Alright. Representing the furthest point of encroachment by the ancient Tevinter Imperium into the barbarian lands of the southeast, the fortress of Ostagar was once one of the most important defensive holdings south of the Waking Sea. It stood at the edge of the Kokari Wilds, watching for any signs of invasion by the barbarians known today as the Chastened Wilders. Straddling a narrow pass in the hills, the fortress needed to be bypassed to reach the fertile lowlands to the north, and proved to be exceedingly difficult for the Wilders to attack because of its naturally defensible position. Like most Imperial holdings in the south, Ostagar was abandoned after Tevinter's collapse during the First Blight. It was successfully sacked by the Chastened Wilders, and then, as the Chastened threat dwindled following the creation of the modern Ferelden nation, fell to ruin completely. It has remained unmanned for 4 centuries, though most of the walls still stand, as does the tall Tower of Ishal, named after the great Archon that ordered its construction. Ostagar remains a testament to the magical power of the Imperium that created it. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Alright, nice. And controls, we had the gifts, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He didn't update that quest. No, he didn't. So, we're going to avoid that side of camp for now, and we're going to do this side. So, let's speak with you. This is the King's tent, isn't it? Come on. There we are, Royal Enclave.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now.
Very well. Where is he?
I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did.
Yeah, so I've heard. Are you one of his bodyguards? You must know a lot about him.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Tairn Logain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
Of course it's possible. Anything's possible. Likely, though. Likely I have my doubts about.
That's how the Tairn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Tairn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
Your leaders fight each other? Shems. This happens often, I take it?
More than usual lately. Good thing the Tairn's the only one who can speak to the king like that.
Right. I'm going.
As you wish.
Okay, so... Oh. Are you...
Hail to you.
Nice, hail to you too. Sweet, so... Yeah, they fight. Brilliant. Just what would you want to hear about the leadership of the army you've been conscripted into, basically. Okay, Logain's guard.
You approach the tent of Tairn Logain. State your business.
So, this is Logain's tent. I don't suppose he's inside, is he? What's he doing? Strategizing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activity.
Cooling down after a fight, I hear. Come on, you can tell me.
I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tairn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tairn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Tairn Logain tells him. Without the Tairn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are.
Indeed. Well, I'd like to see him.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
I am. How do you know that?
His Majesty could not contain his excitement after your meeting. How could I not hear about you? Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
No. And I take it you don't share his fascination.
The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as Kaelin thinks. I see you're a Dalish. Marek knew a Dalish elf once. Never saw an equal with the bow before or since. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I'm not sure. Duncan hasn't mentioned the upcoming battle just yet.
If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
And if he doesn't?
Then simply pray.
Well. Okay. No codex entry. Interesting. Kaelin, you be so silly. Alright. Well, let's go up here.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a
Oh.
darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
That's awful. You know, I considered getting a recolor for the armors, but I decided against it in the end. I like the kind of grubby look. Okay, can I speak to all these people?
I look forward to the morning's glorious battle. The Maker will smile on us. I'm sure of it.
Sure.
Hail to you. Hail to you. They eat our dead. That's how they get stronger.
Oh, that is disgusting.
We're doomed, we are.
Are we though? Really?
Hail to you.
Yeah.
How do you do?
Maker watch over you, my lady. What do these darkspawn want?
Hail to you.
Okay.
Well, don't touch the carcass. We'll be burning it so it doesn't infect anything.
Well, good. Responsible carcass burning. That's what we like to see. Alright, let's get into this chest. Yep, let's take that. Fantastic. No, you can let go. Honestly. And there's nothing... Don't think... Oh, will they steer their arrows? Yes, they will. Awesome.
There are lots of darkspawn.
Yeah, I like that effect. I really like that.
Things we've never even heard of.
Just reactive to our presence. Nothing unusual. Oh,
They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new darkspawn are coming from or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
okay, so there's quite a few ambient dialogues that this guy can give. And I'm probably going to trigger them all by wandering around here, but...
This is supposed to be the battle
here.
that sends these darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
This is our only chance, and you know it.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
There's something to be said for a Blight. Everything comes up where you can see it, and kill it.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me.
Yeah, okay, so I've got female Hawk and Carver in Ostagar. I also have Aveline, but she's over by Davith. The sound quality isn't the best on this mod, but I love it. I just love the immersion.
The last party made it back last night. Barely.
Why?
Only 2 of them made it, and one was minus a leg. Said they encountered some darkspawn that was 10 feet tall, with horns as long as your arm. The injured one died last night. They said his blood was already turning black.
Oh, well, that must have been unpleasant.
Understatement. Thank you, Carver. Well done. So I'm pretty sure from what I remember, there's only 3 dialogues that they have. Just need to get it to fire again.
So there's supposed to be more of these Grey Wardens coming, I hear.
All legions.
Wonderful.
If any of this has an end, you'd think they'd get to it.
If they don't, then we keep on fighting, I guess.
So it's a choice between darkspawn and all legions. Maker.
Yep, that's it. That's all 3 of the interactions. I do like that they chose good dialogue for them, but the quality is just, it's not the best. It's kind of bad. And when you speak to them after this, I'm pretty sure that the dialogue that they have is not Carver and Hawk dialogue, it's just regular dialogue.
When do the reinforcements arrive?
Yeah.
Are they really from Orlais?
Good night for it, Warden.
Okay, that one, maybe.
Good night for it, Warden.
But I don't think Carver's is.
Darkspawn give me the shivers. Look in their eyes up close.
I'm almost certain that that's just random dialogue that they've given him, but I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong. I just like having them in it. I also have...
Let's see.
A small shield, that's nice. Scale armor, awesome. Okay, I also have male Hawk.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker.
And Bethany and Leandra at Lothering, so, you know, we don't choose just one Hawk, we can have both. So, it's the entire family, basically. And they never leave my game. I like having them all here. Just for a little bit of extra immersion. Oh gosh, okay. There's a seam there. Here's me talking about immersion and there's a seam in the wall. Anyway. Because they were at the battle of Ostagar, so, you know, having them actually be here is just, it's awesome.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await.
I also have neutral female armors, so they're all they're wearing the armors that look like the male versions, so indistinguishable from the males now. So you really have to look, which is how it should be. Okay, and we've got Aveline right here, speaking with Davith. But unlike Carver and Hawk, these guys won't actually start talking until you click on them, which is good because it means you don't miss them. So,
any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? What? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow.
If you don't shut your mouth, I'm gonna slam your head against something.
Oh, well, too bad.
Oh, poor Aveline. Yeah, Davith is a bit of a charmer.
Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
Really? What did you think I'd be, Shem?
Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Davith. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they'd cook this ritual up just for our benefit.
Duncan did mention you were left waiting for us. Don't suppose you found anything out about the ritual during that time?
I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
I see. Are all Shemlin afraid of forests?
Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
I wouldn't be here if I did. Were you forced to accept this as well?
I've got nowhere else to go after what Duncan saved me from. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Right. I do like Davith. Of all of the recruits, Davith, he should have lived. He definitely should have. I don't feel the same about Jory. I mean, Jory is a useless waste of space, and in most cases, I actually kind of think my warden shouldn't have lived. Depending on which origin I'm playing and how I'm playing them. Davith just really impresses during the joining ritual scene, so yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he should have lived. Let's you know what, let's talk to the quartermaster. Get my my dose of Dalish savagery out of the way.
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously?
Armour? What? How dare you talk to me like that, human?
What? Oh, you're the one who arrived with the Grey Warden. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... It's simply been so hectic. I never thought... Please, pardon my terrible manners. I am just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special.
So, the real face of the humans shows itself. Too right, you're no one special. And if you treated those elves with even a sliver of kindness, you'd have had your armor by now, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps?
What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course, to keep morale up, you understand.
Show me what you have.
Let me know what you'd like.
Okay. A thoroughly unpleasant person. Could be talking about either of us right now. Oh, I should put my keeper's ring on. That's what Merithara gave me just before the ending last episode. I need to put that on. Okay. So, we do have quite a few recipes right now. And I'd really like to get them, but shouldn't there be a backpack somewhere? There, okay. Let's buy the backpack, definitely. I need the extra inventory space, and I definitely want the universal die kit as well. Fantastic, fantastic mod. You really can't play without the universal die kit, or at least I can't. It's completely necessary. My characters just look terrible without the recolours. Okay, so fancy vase. Let's examine that actually. Okay, it's generic type. I'm just wondering. A beef bone is a gift. Okay, so that's not something that I have to keep hold of to give to someone. I don't think. Although Morrigan likes gold stuff, doesn't she? Is that just jewellery? This is okay to sell, isn't it? Whatever, I'll sell it. Okay. Haven't needed to use any potions or anything right just yet, but that's because it's right at the beginning of the game, and we're on normal difficulty. We're not trying for anything too difficult. I just want to have fun. So let's get rid of all of these armor pieces, because we're not going to ever wear chainmail or scale armor or use shields actually. Yeah, let's get rid of them. I need more space. I'm gonna keep my arrows of filth though. Definitely keeping that. Okay, so the darkspawn staff that we have is better, so I'm going to keep that. So we're good with that one. We are definitely good with that one. You know, I'm not really seeing anything here I actually want. Not in the armor anyway. But here, okay. Recipes, we do need recipes. And I think we've sold everything that we can. So, let's buy the health poultice recipe. And the lesser injury kit recipe, definitely. You see, I don't have enough gold for these. Otherwise I would totally try and get literally all of these recipes, but we're gonna have to wait. Yeah. Okay. And let's speak to him again.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps?
I want to see these other goods you have.
So long as you keep it quiet.
Yeah, okay. So, what else does he have? Yes, he has fire and ice arrows, but God, these are so expensive. So expensive to buy. And oh yeah, we have the Phoenix armor as well. This is just the recruit armor, but I'm probably not going to buy this, not just because it's ridiculously expensive right now, but because it doesn't really work with my neutral mod. I mean, it works with it, it just... I've made all of the armors neutral, unisex armors, and then this recruit armor is just so skimpy by comparison. So yeah, I'm not going to be getting the recruit armor. I always just go for the second tier and then leave it at that. I don't even go for the very top one. No, is it the matriarch? I get confused with the battle maiden and the matriarch. I can never remember which way they go round. Yeah, I think we'll leave the recruit armor. I mean, I could get the boots. At least the boots and the gloves, maybe. We'll see. I don't want to get anything yet, but we'll keep that in mind. And there's nothing else. Oh, there's double baked Mabari crunch. We don't need that right now because we don't have the dog yet. But there we are. I do want that recipe. Okay, and that should be everything that I need right now. Okay, so what do we have left? Wynne. Okay, we've got to talk to Wynne, the Tranquil, Sir Jory. Oh, the Kennel Master. I walked right past it. Oh, and the Ash Warriors as well. Okay, we've got quite a few people still to talk to. But I think I'm probably going to leave it here. So, we've done at least half of Ostagar. That's good enough. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. I upload 5 videos a week, so subscribe and you'll be notified when those go live. Hit the bell to update your notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.